So I'm running, and indeed after about 10-15 minutes, shower. And this is one of those things that, it just happens. It starts raining. Wait, when you're in any kind of process, now whether it's trying to be fit at 40 or building a career or preparing for a big project or presentation at work, or maybe planning a holiday with your family and your loved ones, you're going to run into a snag, right? You get to deal with setbacks basically in everything you do in life. In fact, maybe life and my experience of life is defined not by the setbacks, but my approach and response to them. Now, I'm not talking about these huge detrimental things that are life-altering in one way or another. I'm talking about little things that just kind of get to you and maybe squeeze your motivation a little bit, or make you wonder whether it's all worth it, or whether you should keep going, or whether I should keep going in this case, because I need to remember that I'm talking about me, right? You're listening to stories from my life, and maybe there's something in there for you. So what I'm going to talk about today is, one of those setbacks that I suffered recently, because it's been 3 weeks since my last vlog, even though I try and would love to put one of these out every week. And let's see what I have learned from that. Maybe there's something in there for you, wherever you are, on whatever journey you are, whether it is trying to be fit and healthy, whether it is building a career or finding your first job or switching jobs, whether it is anything else that you are trying to learn or do. Maybe you're trying to write a book, or write a piece of music, or get something else creative done. I don't know. But there are always setbacks. It seems to be a universal feature of my life, at least, and probably also of yours. So what happened? Well, here I am trying to be fit at 40, and I've got my routine going, right? I'm running, and I have my HIIT workouts 3 times a week, and I have my weight training. I mind my nutrition. I make those green smoothies in the morning, most mornings. And I try to get sleep like between 6 and 7 hours. On a very good day, I might get 8, but because we have toddlers in the house, the nights are still interrupted, not in a bad way, but just the way these things go. And whenever that happens, you just deal with it and move on. It's not that bad, actually. I tend to sleep quite well if I have to believe my watch. I got a new one, by the way. I upgraded from a Vantage M2 to a Vantage V2, which has some more features, but I basically use it in the same way. So just looks better. Was on sale. I got a good deal about it. But I digress, right? We're trying to get healthy, and I've got this whole routine lined up. And then what happens? One of the boys comes back with a bit of a tummy bug, and he's very upset, which of course interrupts our entire week schedule, specifically the sleepings in the evenings, because it needs a lot of attention when that happens. But also, as you can expect in a situation like that, the bug spreads, and it hits me again, because I don't know if you remember, but a couple of months back, also got hit by a stomach bug. That one was a lot nastier than this one, but this one wasn't very helpful at all. So, here you are having all of this momentum, and then just comes to a stop, because there's not a lot you can do when you can't keep food in. At least not a lot I can do when I can't keep food in, and I didn't really feel like doing anything besides lying down and feeling miserable, at least for 1 or 2 days. And then it was also very hard to actually eat. So it maybe balanced each other out. If my goal would have been to lose weight, this is not anything I would advise anyone to pursue or do. But when you have a stomach bug, you just lose weight very quickly. It comes back very quickly afterwards as well. Not a good experience for anyone anywhere. And then comes the point where, you don't work out, you don't follow your routine, and you might feel like, well, this actually is also a very nice feeling. I'm not wearing myself out. I'm not stressing myself out. I'm not tired. I started to not look forward to my next HIIT session, particularly because the HIIT session are quite intense, right? Sometimes I'm a bit nauseous, maybe because you go very fast, rest, very fast, rest, and you're putting quite a bit of strain and stress on your body, on your system. At least I am. So I was dreading the workout a little bit. And what is the quickest fix to get back into the routine? Well, you just have to go do it, right? There's nothing else to it. There's routine. I have a specific YouTube video that I listen to, and when I listen to that, right after that, I start to turn on the timer and I start to work out. And the funny thing is that even after having gone through that little forced break and then having to put in a little bit of mental effort to force myself to get started on the workout again, the moment I started doing the exercises, all of the dread and apprehension, I guess I should call it, dread is a bit of a heavy word, apprehension of what I thought how painful it was going to be dissipated, because it actually is, the workout itself is not as bad as my mind starts to make it out to be when I don't do any of the workouts for a while. So there's this thing, I guess, in my brain where I'm telling myself that it's going to be really horrible to kind of put off whatever unpleasantness I experienced during the workout, because it's just easier to sit still and do nothing. But then once the workout's done, I actually feel really good about myself. For me, it was really just a matter of turning on the music, stepping into the routine, and then just starting. And once I started, there were 2 points, especially that first time again, where you do notice it was maybe a bit harder because I was probably still recovering a bit from the bug that knocked me out for a couple of days. So it was probably a bit harder to complete all of the sets that I wanted to complete. And then it is also very tempting, again, like right in the middle of the workout, to just say, well, maybe I should just, take it easy. And now, by all means, everyone knows where their limits are, right? And you should always listen to yourself and understand what you can and cannot do. But for me, I knew when I was telling myself this that I could actually finish. And simply by saying no, I said I was going to do 4 sets, so I'm going to do 4 sets, and completing those 4 sets, guess what? By the time I went past the 2nd set into the 3rd set, my brain was telling me, oh, this is actually not as bad as I thought it would be, and it became very easy to follow through and complete it. So, when, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I have my habits, and I have my routines, and I have the program that I want to follow, because I know what my goals are, right? My goals are to be fit and healthy and to invest in endurance and strength for a longer and healthier life rather than anything aesthetic or that. So doing these sets of workouts and completing the time that I have, completing the reps that I have, has been giving me the results that I want to see, because I can do the 30 pull-ups. I can do a lot of push-ups. I can do pistol squats better and better actually every week. So my body is getting stronger. The runs are becoming easier. It's way easier for me now to stay within my zone 2 cardio range. Even if I'm picking up the pace or going uphill or going for a long run, 30 to 60 minutes. So I've noticed the progress and the physical adaptations that my body is making, responding well to the training and the nutrition and the rest, that the protocols that I'm putting myself through. And that's really good. That's really motivating. And I guess that all factors in when I want to get started again. Because having this positive momentum, it's now at a point in my routine where not working out is harder than working out. So Tuesday and Thursdays are usually the days that I don't work out. And I really have to stop myself from going over and doing some push-ups or doing a quick set or wanting to go to the gym, because my body also needs to rest and recover. On the other hand, maybe running in the rain isn't that bad. I'm going to find out. So I'm running, and indeed, after about 10-15 minutes, shower. And this is one of those things that, it just happens. It starts raining so hard. I am soaked within 20 seconds, not even a chance to go and find a place to kind of shelter and wait it out. I also didn't want to. And I just kept on running. And I was running continuously through this rain. It lasted for about 2 or 3 minutes. And as I was running, I was like, oh, this is actually not that bad. Well, but why was it that before I started running, I was like, oh, I hope it doesn't rain, because if it rains, there's no fun in running. But while I was running, it actually wasn't that bad. Well, first of all, I had the goal of completing the run. But second of all, it's not winter cold yet, and the rain was actually pleasantly warm, not one of these really cold, icy showers with this icy wind. So even though it was maybe somewhat unpleasant, because who likes to be caught in the rain and get completely soaked through, it wasn't a bad experience. It was actually a nice experience to run through the rain. And to actually complete the run afterwards and come home and take a properly cold shower, because that's what I've been doing for about 100 days now, taking cold showers in the morning. And I felt really good afterwards. I don't have a feeling that I'm getting sick. Who knows, tomorrow maybe I'll be slightly ill and have a blocked nose, but I don't really think so. And even there was this little setback, right, of, well, okay, now it's raining. I can just quit, could have turned around and kind of waited out or gone home. But by just going on with the routine and just continuing to run, I completed the run. I feel really good and energized, despite the fact that I haven't slept. I didn't sleep more than 6 hours, I think 5.5 actually, my watch told me, which is too little, I understand, but also 1 day out of 7 maybe doesn't matter that much, or 1 day out of 14 if I look at a 2-week time frame in which that I would be measuring my sleep. So I'm not too concerned about that. And that was a good experience. So running, exercising, nutrition, career, project, I don't know, whatever it is that I'm working on in my life, there always seems to be this kind of like phase where it's hard to start, but you start and it's actually fun. You build momentum, I build momentum. And then there's a setback or something that makes me wonder, well, why am I doing this? Should I maybe stop? Is it worth it? The time, the energy, the frustration that I'm going through, and just kind of like getting on with it and pushing through that frustration and relying on the routine to get the work done, to show up and do the work, seems to be a pretty good way to continue and keep going. So let's see for the next 152 days if that is actually going to prove to be true. And I do hope that it is, and you'll find out if you keep watching these vlogs and checking in with me how it's going. I guess that's all I have to say today. Thanks for listening. If you are enjoying this conversation or on a similar journey, leave a comment for me under the video. Like this video, that would help me very much. And if you want to stay up to date or hear more, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I will continue to put up more of these vlogs and videos for us all to share our experiences in, and do a bit better every day. Yeah, that's definitely it, friend. Wherever you are, just remember, you need to show up and do the work.